and show you how to use Google Trends. This is a great free market research tool where you'll see what the world is searching for at any key time. My name is James King and I'm an SEO manager here at Koozai, and in this video we're going to walk through how to get the most out of Google Trends. Stay around till the end because I'll show you, if you've got a retail business, how to get the most mileage out of seasonal traffic trend terms and see how you can get more keyword opportunity throughout the full year. So let's get started. So let's start by visiting trends.google.com. So when you visit the homepage or landing page, we have this search bar here, and it shows us the latest example of a keyword that's trending. So you can type in the keyword you want to find in the search bar, or alternatively, you can click Explore. Either way, it will take you to the same destination. So we can see it's gone to Explore, and I've added in the term running shoes. And what we can see within this, that it's shown the past day, and it's set for the United Kingdom, and over the past day we can see the time of when this search term was popular during a number of hours in the last 24 hours, the date time. We can see it suddenly drops off between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. when the vast majority of the public are asleep, and then with this we can see the trend on here as well. But you can also go further. Instead of past day, you can go to 2004 and present. And we can see that there has been a steady incline as we get towards 2011 and it starts to peak. And then when we get to the COVID era, around about 2020, the summer of 2020, significant spike. And then we see it tails down a bit and it starts to increase as well. So we can see the overall trend for the term running shoes over the past 20 years here as well. But if you scroll down the page, we can also see related topics. So these are related topics that have been rising within that time frame. So for instance, we've got topics about Hoka One, and we've also got topics about the Nike store and Asics as well, and Under Armour as well. So those are the related topics that are rising. But if we flip this, we can see the top topics that were rising during that time, the top topics, related topics. So this is really powerful to see other variations of topics around the term running shoes. Also, on the opposite side of the table, we have related queries, where we can see the terms that have been rising over time. So we've got running shoes women, Sports Direct, running shoes, Hoka running shoes, etc. And then also we can see top as well. We can also filter by selecting categories. So if I scroll up to the page, we can see all categories, and we can see there's different variations of tabs and categories we've got. So for instance, if we go to sports, we can see the trend as well. But also what we can do is select different types of searches. So for instance, if you sign running shoes, we can also look at image search, and we can see the traffic there, interest over time as well. And then if we go to Google Shopping, and also if we go to YouTube, we can see the search volume there. But also I'm just going to remove this category so we get a wider selection. And we can see YouTube has been a considerate improvement from COVID, and it started to increase and it spiked up as we're moving over time as well. And also if we look back at Google Shopping, we can see that there has been an increase round about 2024, more significance, as more sites that have Google Shopping have automatically been entered into the Merchant Center. We can see there's been improvements as well. You can also filter by location. So currently we've got the United Kingdom. So if you want to look at the US or worldwide, you can see that as well. But also what you can do, if you say you've got a running store in particular and you want to determine the best queries to use. So for instance, I may want to build a section that talks about women's running shoes and also ladies running shoes. So for instance, what I need to know, which is the most popular term between the two in terms of trends. So what I can do is put compare. Let's put ladies running shoes. And we can see the comparison that we have here. I'm also going to put it back to web search. And let's also add in women's running shoes as well. So essentially, with this data, I can determine which term is better out of ladies and women's. So I'm also just going to remove, for this instance, running shoes. So then we can actually see a better variance of that. So currently we've got it set for 2004 and present. Let's look at the past 5 years. And we can see the significance of the term women's running shoes in red. And then underneath we can see ladies running shoes as well. So also if I scroll down the page, we can see that the percentage breakdown in Northern Ireland is 69% for women's, 39% for ladies. And also in England, 79% women's running shoes, 21% ladies' shoes, and also same for Wales. 76% for women's running shoes, 24% for ladies' shoes, and also Scotland, 76% for women's shoes, 24% for ladies' shoes. So overall, we can use this data to make educated, evidence-based recommendations on a trend for a particular word as well. So with that, this is really powerful in terms of what you can use the power of Google Trends as well. Also, if you want more tips and advice related to digital marketing, SEO, PPC, AI, please subscribe to the Koozai YouTube channel. We do have new content that's coming out regularly, and it's also a great place to learn and expand your skill set about digital marketing as well. So in the next section, let's look at trending now. So this is a new feature, or relatively useful feature, and it's had some changes since I've last looked at this. This is really good in terms of elements that we can look. So at present, it sets my location. I'm in the UK. And then we've also got the past 24 hours. So we can see what's trending in the past 24 hours. But you can change it for 48 hours and the past 7 days as well. So this is useful if, say, you're looking at a sporting event such as the Olympics or maybe the World Cup, for instance. We can see the history of particular trends as well. We can also look at all categories. So for instance, let's say I may have a business that's involved with entertainment. Let's say I've got an entertainment agency and I'm involved in that arena. We can see the most popular trends in the past 24 hours. So for instance, we see Ollie Murs has increased in trends. The search volume that indicates here is saying it's gone up by 1,000% in the last 24 hours as well. And also this trend started 17 hours ago. So this is an active trend. And also if we look down here, we can actually see on the trend breakdown other terms that are related that are also within this trend. And we also have this line graph that shows the overall engagement and the trend spikes over the past 24 hours. But if we click on the actual trend, we can actually see in more detail where the momentum began, the peaks and troughs, and also the terms that have been generated for this as well. So looking at Ollie Murs, we've got a tour, so we've got Glasgow, Manchester, we've also got AO Arena as well in Manchester. So we can see there's a number of elements that are appearing around Ollie Murs, as unfortunately cancels a gig with this as well. So we can see the trends that are happening in real time as well. If we look at the top, we've also got all trends, and we can actually show active trends only. So what we can do is we can show the trends that are pretty much happening as we speak. And we can also filter by relevance. So we can look at the title. We can also filter by search volume. We can see which got the most search volume there as well. And recency, so how recent this happened. So Gary Barlow has just come up in the news in the last 30 minutes. And then also we can look at relevance, so we can see the significant and recent trends as well. So this gives us a lot of data, and with this we can use this from a content perspective. Say you've got a news site, you can see what's up and coming, and let's say there's a particular interest you've got as a business and you want to cover a story, you can set up alerts and keep an eye on this, and this is really useful to keep ahead of recent news as well. We also have the option to export data. So for instance, if anything in particular you like the look of, you can download it as a CSV, copy it into a clipboard, it's a copy and paste feature, and also you can place this as an RSS feed as well. So this is useful if you want to do any more data analysis or data mining in regards to the data that's appearing through Google Trends as well. Also in this video, at the beginning, I promised that I'll show you how to get more mileage from seasonal keywords. So let's look at that now. So I'm going to go back to Explore. And let's say I have a business that's targeting Mother's Day inquiries in the UK. So for instance, let's type in Mother's Day gifts. So let's say I've got a gift business that's targeted around Mother's Day, for instance. We can see that there's significant spikes each year round about springtime. Mother's Day does vary in terms of what day it lands on each year, but we can see it's a consistent trend. And if we go back to the 2004, we can see it's consistent. More particular during 2020, because of COVID, none of us could get out, so we had to send gifts through the post. So with that, we can see Mother's Day gifts usually just has 1 month, and it's a very important month for businesses in retail, but also if you have a business that sells gifts for mums, what you want to do is look at how you can get the most mileage out of it. So at the moment we can see that there's peaks and troughs round about a particular couple of weeks in the spring, and then it dies off for the rest of the year. So what we can do is look for other variations of terms that get longevity. So let's look at mum's gifts or mum gifts. Let's start with mum gifts. And let's also change the date to the past 5 years. We can see that there's little trickles throughout the year where it picks up around about Christmas as well. And also, let's make this UK-wide as well, because at the moment it's set to worldwide. So in the US and UK, Mother's Day is at different days. So let's have a look at this. So we can see now that the average for mum gifts throughout the year is more significant. So this also includes Christmas, and then it builds up to spring as well. And we can also see it's relatively consistent, that there's a bit more traffic throughout the year. It's not just dead flat. And with that, there's opportunities if you do have a business that sells gifts for mums, Mother's Day gifts, to get more mileage out the full year as well. And also if we look at gifts for mums, we can also see that's a bit more in terms of movement there as well. But the main one is mum gifts from that perspective. So this is what you can do to get more mileage out of a campaign. But also if we look down further, we can see that the term mum gifts has a lot more mileage throughout the year. So we can see in Wales, for instance, 55% of the share of searches throughout a given year or that period of time above is more about mum gifts. And same in England, 56%, and also Northern Ireland, 58%, and also 61% for Scotland as well. So that's a really good way of using Google Trends to get more mileage out of a campaign. So to summarise, we covered the following: how to identify trends in Google Trends, how to compare trends for the benefit of keyword research. So earlier we looked at women's running shoes versus ladies' running shoes. And we can also see how to use trends that are happening as we speak, as we looked at trending now, to find more opportunities for content marketing as well. And finally, we've just covered how to get more mileage from a particular seasonal trends if you have a retail-based business. My name's James King, an SEO manager at Koozai. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel where you'll find more information and insights surrounding digital marketing. Thank you.